KZ end up with a -5 in a minute?
Hard 30 tonight.
First of all, I don't believe in numbers.
Don't get fooled. Grab a drink, because this is Hangover Time.
Man, I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. Like, listen, like losing this game is not that big of a deal. Like, you know, you go up 3-0, you drop game 4, game 5 in their house. They're excited. Things are, you know, you're losing this game isn't a big deal. Like it's happened before. Teams have forced game 6s, teams have forced game 7s. But to just show up like that, like from the jump, from the start, from the beginning of the game, just lifeless, listless. Like your guys, the guys who are supposed to like bring you home in this circumstance, like your vets, your stars, your all-stars, your superstars, giving you fucking nothing. Like nothing. Like Jimmy Butler, I thank you for a wonderful, great postseason. What the fuck are you doing out there? Like to end the half, he asked for the ball at half court, dribbles for 4 seconds with like 13 seconds, not even 13 seconds, like 9 seconds left on the shot clock, dribbles for 4 seconds, just lazily hands the ball off to Caleb Martin, gets in his way. Caleb has nothing to do. We don't even get a shot off to end the half. Like, these are big possessions. These are big deals, right? Like, they were playing zone. Bam is watching Robert Williams under the rim. Jimmy tells him, move, go, 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 because he's worried about the corner 3. So you would think Jimmy would have Bam's back in that instance. Of course not. Passing into Time Lord, and he reverse dunks. Like, it's just like I don't know what happened to this team tonight. Like nobody showed the fuck up. There's the blame can be put on everybody. Only people I'll absolve is Haywood Highsmith and Duncan Robinson, and Caleb Martin to an extent. Like outside of those guys, I'm not absolving anybody. Everybody else is trash, even Coach Spo, because it's been a few games now that Kevin Love as your starting forward doesn't make any fucking sense. Because they've gone small. They've gone away from the 2 big lineups. Who are you pulling away from the rim with Kevin Love? Derek White? Like, what you're letting them camp out, you know, somebody just basically camp out on Kevin Love, and it's not affecting the game at all. And defensively, they're spreading you out five beyond the perimeter, and Kevin Love can't fucking move anymore. Bring me out, G. Like, I ain't gonna be sitting here. I'm not gonna be screaming, ranting, and raving tonight. Like, it's just simple shit, it feels like. And it also, and honestly, if you lost this game and you put up a fucking fight, like, you would think that this team would come out with a sense of fucking pride or something. They came out with nothing. Just a listless, lifeless fucking effort. Like, guys looking at like they didn't even want to be out there. Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, what do you want me to say about these guys? What do you want me to say about the guys that are supposed to be leading this team? Like, for Duncan Robinson to lead you in fucking points tonight, are you not embarrassed, bro?
Nuts. Ridiculous.
Like, are you not ashamed of yourself? Like, Duncan Robinson, okay, Bam had 16, but Duncan Robinson and Haywood Highsmith, outside of Bam, were your leading fucking scorers. Are you not fucking ashamed of yourself? Max Strus, are you going to do fucking anything? Kevin Love, are you going to fucking do anything? Kyle Lowry, for God's sake, bro. For God's sake, what are you doing? just throwing the fucking ball anywhere. Like literally search foul hunting. Like you can't, nobody's afraid of you. Nobody's fouling you. The refs see it. They don't even foul you. They barely guard you because they know you're not even trying to score. You're just chucking the fucking ball up. Everybody's got you figured out, bro. Like, playmate, do something to help your fucking team. It's a fucking joke, man. Anyway, G, you were going to say something.
Duncan Robinson, leading scorer, +7.
Nice.
Duncan was driving on everybody, whether it be Derek White, Jason Tatum, Al Horford. He was not afraid. How is Duncan Robinson not afraid to drive and nobody else can do anything?
Alf, that was the crazy part. I was like, well, they're obviously like pressing, and the way you beat that is you dribble past them, right? And then I was like, well, Jimmy's not doing it. Kyle's with the shaky handle and giving the worst passes I've ever seen. And I'm like, and Caleb is kind of doing it. And Duncan really the only dude that's like, okay, well, I'm going to dribble past you.
Max didn't even try. I can't think of a single time tonight Max tried to take anybody off the dribble. Maybe I'm wrong.
He was taking like contested pull-ups when they're like pressed really high. And
with
I was
10
like,
seconds left on the shot clock. What the fuck are you doing, Max?
I'm like, go.
Like Max forgot how to play basketball. Jimmy.
The whole basket, yeah.
And listen, I don't know if Jimmy's ankle's bothering him. I don't know what's going on. This one game every other night. I'm not making excuses for anybody. Like, show the fuck up, man. Because you're talking a lot of shit. Anyway, I'm Alphonse Sidney, a.k.a. Alf954. Welcome into Miami Heat Beat Postgame Show Hangover Time. If you're watching live on Twitch, God bless you. Because I would go watch anything else.
There are a lot of people here in chat. There's a lot of people live.
No, we love you guys. Thank you for showing up. Because if it was me personally, I would have gone and watched anything else that has nothing to do with basketball.
100%.
Like, I'd be watching HGTV and praying to God nobody wanted to build a basketball hoop in their fucking backyard. If you're watching the replay on YouTube at the Miami Heat Beat YouTube page, make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button. Leave us a comment. Tell us how disappointed you are in this Miami Heat team, and tell us that you still believe it's Heat in 6. And if you're listening to the podcast tomorrow morning, please understand I look as tired and annoyed as I sound. G,
what's up?
Let's find out who kicked our ass tonight.
They kicked our ass.
I'm going to start. I normally don't do this, but I'm going to start. Spo kicked our ass tonight. And I'm not doing this fire Spo shit or blah, blah, blah. You keep getting cute with Kevin Love, man. They made the adjustment. They made the adjustment a few games ago. Kevin Love has been super effective against the Brook Lopez's and the Mitchell Robinsons of the world. As soon as they took Robert Williams out of the starting lineup, stop being fucking cute. Kevin Love has no business out there. They are running. I mean, they were running them around. Like, there were so many open corner threes. Outside of the first Kevin Love stint, like, they kind of played them pretty even throughout the rest of the game. Like, literally. Like, but you let them get so hot. Like, Derek White, honestly, the basket was the size of the fucking ocean. Because, like, the first 3 or 4 shots he took, nobody was around him. Right? Like, Caleb Martin, whether Gabe Vincent or Haywood Highsmith, whether Gabe Vincent was hurt or not, should have been starting 2 games ago. And Kevin Love should be your 5 off the bench because Cody Zeller ain't it. Like, and we finally make the adjustment at halftime. We wait till halftime to make the adjustment, and now these dudes are already. I mean, this front running ass team, you gave them the green light to go fucking crazy. Finally made the adjustment at halftime. And honestly, you didn't make all the adjustments because I don't know why Kyle Lowry was still out there.
Well, like, I understand in the first half, really, I mean, after that first quarter, like, he barely played that half. I mean, he was so bad that even
then they bring him in to start the second. He was so bad that you barely played him in the first, but you bring him in to start the second. Like, I don't know. Anyway, that's who kicked our ass. Brian, who kicked our ass tonight?
Heat did. They started the game with all these turnovers again. Bam. I don't even know what he's doing out there half the time anymore on offense. He's posting up thinking he has a mismatch. He can't even keep a dribble longer than 3 seconds without getting it tipped.
6 turnovers for Bam. Bam had as many turnovers as he did defensive rebounds.
And Jimmy's like, I don't know. To me, the one I'm really most upset about on this team is Jimmy. He comes out these last two pressers. Well, this last presser, I'm sure this one's going to be the same. Smiling, thinking everything's all good. Dude, you need to be in your mama mentality and win this last closeout game. You already knew going into this series, this team was going to be hard to beat and close out this series. You saw what happened last year. You couldn't close out game 7. You need to be able to close this team out. It's not going to be easy for everybody on this team. But like Jimmy, you have to be the one to set the tone early on. Stop these like dribbling for 3 seconds looking for a mismatch. Just attack whoever's in front of you. Don't pump fake and just get aggressive. If you get contact, hopefully you get a foul call. But if not, at least you try to do something with the ball rather than just dribbling around the perimeter, hoping that somebody's going to come and bail you out. I don't like that offense. That's part of the reason why the Heat are playing so bad right now. This team follows Jimmy, follows Bam, follows the stars, and then the rest of them can come and supplement. Right now, you're actually seeing some good performances from the non-All-Stars. But the All-Stars are not showing up when it counts and when it matters. They're one win away. It's not like they need to do much to win this series. You have to win one more game. Now you have 2 more chances, but you just had 2. You gave them up away in practically blowouts in 2 straight games. One on your home floor, and now one on the road. You have to win game 6. There's no way you should be going back to game 7. If you don't win game 6, the series probably is over. And to me, they put that on their own plates by not taking that third quarter seriously in game 4 because they had a 9-point lead. They could have put them away. They didn't do it.
They play with their meat.
And part of it was a lot of different things on the floor that Miami was just, I don't know, they were just doing so many bad things leading to Boston getting hot from 3. And now you see that they're front running, and now to Bond's credit, they actually have some momentum. I didn't think they would be shooting the lights out again to start off a first quarter like they did today. I thought it may take them a half to get there. But no, those guys are shooting lights out, and if they're shooting like that, this Heat team, they got their head down every single time they have the ball now. Like, they don't feel like they can win against a team that shoots like that. They did the same thing against Milwaukee in game 2.
G, who kicked our ass tonight?
I'm going to go Derek White.
Correct.
And I think one of the big adjustments that the Celtics made was they put a guy on the wing. So Miami sends help early on Tatum or Brown, but mostly Tatum. And they'll send that guy either at the nail or whatever. They'll send him to kind of creep in and shade and help, if not hard double. And I think the Celtics did a good job of kind of giving him an easy pass because, his assist numbers have been good, but he's not like a LeBron level passer, right? Like, he can't make those complicated, off the dribble, cross court stuff. So what the Celtics did was kind of give him easy kind of little outlets, and that's just swing once the defense moves. So I thought White kind of finishing those plays. Really all of the guards, man. Smart was fucking annoying as hell, which is his game. Hit a bunch of threes. Horford had 5 offensive rebounds or something, which is kind of insane. They played great. Miami played with no urgency, as Brian has said. Jimmy looked like he didn't give a shit. Kyle threw up all over himself. Bam had a million gajillion turnovers. So, but honestly, Boston played really well, and Boston frazzled them into that, and they looked scared and not ready.
Bond, who kicked our ass? You're muted.
Yeah. No, they kicked their own ass. I don't have too much to say about it. They kicked their own ass in the way that they handled game 4 and kicked their ass.
Well, I'm not going to do the quarter thing because it's the stupidest thing in the world, but they get outscored by 15 in the first. In the second, they got outscored by 2. In the third, they got outscored by 1. And in the fourth, they outscored the Celtics by 5. So really, after the first quarter, they outscored Boston. Now,
From
obviously,
the point
the
it was
game,
20-5. It was 15-5. Kevin Love sat.
That doesn't matter.
Listen, no. What do you mean it doesn't matter? Boston went on a little 5-0 run when Caleb first got in. From that point on, they played them pretty even. Like, and I'm not only see, the thing is, I'm not blaming it just on Kevin Love, right? I'm blaming it on the fact that it's the wrong group of guys out there. Like, if you think if it's true that Boston is more talented than you, they're more physical than you, they're more athletic than you, you can't run out there with Max Strus, Kyle Lowry, and Kevin Love all together in the starting lineup. Like, you just can't. They're not playing Al Horford and slow Rob Williams. They're playing Al Horford and 4 super fucking fast athletic guys. So like you were saying, G, they're whatever the soft doubles, whatever they're throwing at Tatum. Now you need athletic guys to rotate, right? And what's happening? Kevin Love is flat-footed as shit, can't move. Kyle Lowry can't fucking move, right? And I mean, they're just the ball's swinging around and somebody's wide fucking open. As soon as they brought Caleb into the game, you started seeing guys fly around just a little bit more. And I don't know if they would have won the game if Caleb started. I don't even think they would have won the game. But it would have been a lot more fucking competitive than the whole game was competitive outside of that first fucking 7 minutes. They were not competitive, and they just let Boston just fucking go crazy.
Yep. Happened last series too. They had games like this last series. In the Eastern Conference Final last year. Last year.
What's that, Bond?
That offense didn't feel competitive. Like, they don't feel that offense didn't feel competent and well run. Like, the whole thing just.
I mean, their field goal percentage was excellent in the second half. Like, I mean, they were but they just couldn't hang on to the fucking ball.
They
kept
figured
turning
it
the
out,
ball over.
but they kept turning the ball over, which I'm sure that.
And couldn't get stops, like the turnovers and not getting stops.
Oh, the defense was shit all fucking game. Like.
But that has to be what it is. They're not going to outscore them. They have to defend.
Of course, like every time, like it's like they took it down to like a 14 or a 12-point lead. Bond, you're looking at them like get 2 stops.
Nope, off the foot, like, out of bounds, fumble. Bam,
for some reason, decides to take the ball. Like, Bond, we learned this shit in like elementary school. Stop putting the ball by your ankles.
That dude has to stop letting himself get pushed out so far. Some of it is like the whole run some stuff for him. But like, even when they do that, they always started off with like a cross screen trying to bring him strong side. And he just lets himself get ridden so far out. So now he's got to face up, and you don't have a face up bag truly like that. You got some pennies in a coin purse. You don't really have too much of a face up bag. And it's just dribble off his foot, off his knee, bringing it low. Little people down here swiping at it the whole time.
Marcus Smart swiping the ball away.
Marcus Smart, Derek White, fucking ow.
Jalen poked the ball out of his dribble like 5 times.
All of them did.
You
think they would know by now, like from last game, like try to give Bam different looks than that. Like,
no, I don't know. It's not about giving Bam different looks. Bam do fucking something. Stop.
You gotta feel that they're gonna.
No, at some point that's on the coaching staff.
You know what I mean?
No, I don't want to fucking hear it. I don't want to hear it about the coaching staff with Bam, man. Like, stop dribbling it off your fucking foot. Stop.
Yeah.
Like, bro.
That's
like,
an adjustment you have to make a counter adjustment for, Alf.
You can't make an adjustment for a dude dribbling the ball off of his foot.
If you have 2 or 3 guys rolling on it, yes, you gotta get the ball off his hand and give it to somebody that actually dribble the ball.
He needs to do that then.
Yeah, that's
like
not
nobody told him to try to dribble between your legs through 3 guys. Your hand was shitty.
I don't want to hear this point Bam stuff.
He has Grant Williams locked under the basket, and all you just turn it and finish
just
over.
Make him
clanks it off the back
man.
of the rim. Then you're fucked. If Bam is all just dribble hands off,
we lost the game strictly on turnovers. I think more than anything else.
No,
I mean, listen, we don't have to
turnovers
like overreact. Like,
rebounds.
They've been putting Bam in the mid to low post all series, and it's been successful. He got rattled today, and that happens. That shouldn't happen, but it happened. And to like make this some sort of grand indictment on him when he had a bad game with 6 turnovers. That's a problem, right? And we give him beat shit for it. And like, I'm not saying to let Bam skate, but that's not normal.
It's the same problem last game. The same
It
exact
is.
same thing last
It
game.
is.
I think last game was him doing too much. This game was they were taking it from him. I thought last game was more self-imposed mistakes. I thought
Fair.
this game, Boston was very, very aggressive with him, and he was very frazzled. And he needs to be better. I agree with Brian in the sense
Easily
of like,
frazzled.
I don't think they should be feeding him in the mid post right now. That's stupid. Like they need a relief bucket and they're going to him who's been a fucking turnover factory. That's not what I'm doing. But also it's like that's not normal.
Well, see, there's too many times they've given him the ball and he's dribbled himself into the turnover. Like nobody, they're not dropping the ball into while he's being triple teamed. Like they're not giving him the ball like Shaq under the basket with 3 guys swiping at him. He's dribbling into this shit.
Facing it, walking into the doubles and the triples. And then there's no motion, then there's nothing happening on the other side.
Or he'll make his first move, and instead of being decisive and going up with it, he brings it back down, tries to do 3 more moves, and now everybody has that shit scouted. Everybody knows Bam ain't going for the first move. So after they don't bite on the first move, they wait for him to flow into his second move, what he sometimes he does for absolutely no reason. And when he's doing that, now they all come around and start swiping at him. Like at some point, like I don't want to hear that it's the coaching staff. Like, how about Bam? You just go for that first jump hook that you have. Like every time he's just been decisive and gone straight to the rim, he scores or gets a good look.
In the second half, that's what they did more. They're like, okay, let's run him and pick and roll. Let's like run him and pick and pop. And I'm a little sick of him looking good in second halves after he plays so bad that they get in a hole. I'm kind of over that.
Over.
I'm just like not gonna give him credit. Because I think Boston, in that second half, I know that the numbers look a little better, but obviously, like Boston took their foot off the gas defensively a little bit. Because you're up 20. You know what I mean? Like, so, I mean, Bam doesn't get a pass. Kyle doesn't get a pass. Jimmy, none of these guys get a pass.
How many shots did Jimmy take today?
10. He took 10 shots.
What's up? His demeanor, his shit's funky. Like,
but did you see the video? And I don't like doing this, but did you see the video of him? Will Mantle he was shooting pregame.
Yeah, he had no lift.
It's not that he had no lift because that's how he warms up. He just looked like that. If you had put that face over a guy making copies, it would have looked the same. You know what I mean? Like it was very Eric Bledsoe. I don't want to be here.
He gets that way, but like this is the worst time to be that way. And like you can say body language, whatever, like that shit matters and it's legible. Like you can see it and it permeates like that. You can feel that shit. Like when you walk in and you feel a certain something off of your main guys, you have a little extra like, all right, we good. You walk in and like your main dudes dropping this shit off their foot, off the knee, just don't feel present. Then that feels like something else in itself that must be overcome. It's too much.
I will say this.
Duncan Robinson had 9 assists.
Yes. You know why? And that was literally what I was about to say.
Shit.
Because he's the only motherfucker forcing rotation.
Penetrating, trying to get rim pressure.
I would start Duncan, man.
I tweeted today.
He had as many assists as a starting lineup combined. Nice. Did you hear what I just said?
He had as many assists as Kyle and Bam had turnovers together. Actually, no, I think they had one more. I think they had 10 together, and Duncan had 9 assists.
The only person playing with some threats, you miss Gabe's like shooting defense, whatever, but Gabe was giving you rim pressure. Like Duncan's the only person now who's even trying to
without a pick,
to the cup.
without a screen.
And is getting to the cup.
The anti-screen merchant, Duncan Robinson. Who would have thought?
Bond and G, both to your credits, like Duncan Robinson shouldn't be the guy that's attacking off the dribble every single possession and being a threat off the dribble. It has to be a guy like Jimmy when every other guard's out. Kyle Lowry's not giving anything this series anymore. Like that's it. Like I wouldn't even consider playing in the next game, considering what I've seen these last two. I just play Haysmith and Gabe, and that's it. Don't even play Lowry.
You throw him. You do what you did today. You play him early. You see if he gives you something, and then if he doesn't, then you do what they did today. I mean, but honestly, like if Gabe isn't going, and if he's just gonna look like a pumpkin, like it's kind of tough unless Jimmy and Bam kind of give you those performances. I mean, he was, what's funny? We talked pregame.
They literally cannot afford a single bad Kyle game anymore the rest of the series. That's it. Like I think he's done it for him. Like that's it. I would not play him.
Brian is exiled Kyle Lowry. He's no more Kyle Lowry minutes.
He's quite literally almost lost you at least one game this series, but almost two.
Which did he lose them last game?
He started this game terribly. He was part of the turnover issue to start the game.
He was not good today, but to say that he shouldn't play a single minute in the rest of the series,
he dug them to 15
when they don't have a guard. Well, they all dug it, right? Like he was really bad.
Yeah, I'm not blaming Kyle alone. I'm not blaming Kevin alone.
I just don't think he
it was a group issue.
It was a group project. Everyone submitted their shit on time.
Everybody except Duncan and Highsmith.
I'm talking about that starting lineup.
Yeah.
Like they seriously have to consider something else. They have to start with a different line. Like Kevin Love can't start.
Caleb. They should start Caleb.
Honestly, start.
And
Caleb
I would play Highsmith off the bench.
I'd rather start Highsmith than.
Honestly, I don't know. Maybe you can start Kyle if you have 4 other good defenders out there. But you just can't have Kyle and Kevin.
I don't think he can guard Jaylen Brown.
It sounds like Dave will probably play.
I don't think that he can guard Jaylen Brown. And I thought that athletically Boston superimposed themselves. And I think that's like part of it. Like he's 37 and like, I don't know if he has a hand injury or whatever the fuck they were saying, but like he would guard Jaylen last year and it worked. And this year he just has not been the same on those athletic guys. He has been best this season as a help defender. And we saw in the Milwaukee series, it wasn't that he did a good job on Middleton. It was that he was a very effective and very smart helper. And he, having him on Jaylen is just not great. I just straight up rather have him on Derek White.
Listen, if Gabe can play, you start Gabe and Caleb. And that's it. Right.
Jimmy's presser, he's talking about how they have to play harder and something. He guaranteed we will win next game.
Didn't he say we will win this game?
Actually do it. Yeah, he said we're going to win this game on the road. So, whatever. That doesn't mean anything to me.
Sure, no, of course not. I'm
just I listen, at least he showed up, unlike fucking Dylan Brooks. So, I guess he showed up. At least Jimmy showed up to the presser, unlike Dylan Brooks. Oh,
to the presser, okay.
The Heat don't play
to the game.
The most concerning thing. The most concerning thing about Jimmy Bond is that he looked like a traffic cone on several defensive possessions. There was so I can talk about Kevin Love and Kyle Lowry all I want. That they're too slow. They both can't play together. But there were legit several possessions where Jimmy was the worst defender on the floor. Like that can't fucking happen,
bro. Didn't give a fuck. I could say
just
some of these other dudes played bad. I felt Jimmy didn't care. Bam and Kyle played bad and awful. I felt like Jimmy walked in there like he didn't want to fucking clock into work today.
I don't think Bam cared much. I didn't feel much care from
I felt
Bam.
He was trying on defense.
I felt like he did. I felt like he just fucked up.
No.
I think he was rattled. I think he was legit rattled.
I hope he didn't
took
care.
More shots.
Because if he played like that and cared, I hope Bond's right.
Actually, you're right. Let's.
I hope Bond's right, man.
Somebody said Jimmy turned into Whiteside. No, the correct comparison is Jimmy turned into Winslow.
Yeah.
What is it?
Dog, Bam was straight up Justice. That's the shit that Justice used to do. Where did you see that one layup that rolled in and then out?
Yeah.
That shit that would happen to Justice, and I go, oh no, it's so Jover.
51.3% from the field for the Heat tonight. 40% from 3. They just didn't even get enough shots up. That was they just
how many threes did Duncan
turnovers and offensive rebounds did it for them.
Duncan scored 18 points, and he had
only took 3 threes.
2 threes.
He only made 2 or 3.
I think he missed a 3 in garbage time.
What a king!
And he got fouled a number of times and didn't call it.
Why are people accusing Heat players of doing cocaine? Let's not do that.
What? Don't talk.
And you know what?
Those are not.
Here's another thing that bothers me. They went to the line 10 times.
To clarify for the pod audience, it's chat. I just don't want anybody to think that we're doing that.
They went to the line 10 times, right?
Once in the second half.
Nuts.
I can't think of a single there's one time I thought Duncan got fouled. I can't think of too many times they deserved to be at the line.
Oh no, the officiating has been fine this whole series.
No, there wasn't don't tell me don't blame no officials or nothing. Like, I mean, the Celtics only went to the
And
line
both
19
teams.
times, and they probably deserve way more free throws than those 19.
Yeah.
Just because, just off GP, just
give-
here, take a point.
I mean, you know what's fun? They only shot one more shot than us.
Again, I mean that fourth quarter.
Does that sound right?
No,
I mean, but probably because like the fourth quarter, the second half was like they were immaculate in motion.
they only shot one more shot than us.
We were 40 for 78, and they were 40 of 79.
There's no way we got that many shots up with all them turnovers.
And I mean, they hit 7 more threes than we did.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how that math happened.
It wasn't that.
Hold on,
Well, 7
I'm
more-
gonna start putting chat on blast right now. This guy Alejandro in chat has been so annoying. He's like, stop talking about Denver because when have we ever talked about Denver?
Who
We
has
I
have
said
very
the word
specifically
Denver?
not
That's
talked about
true.
Denver.
Oh, I
to
did
the point
the
that
Solomon Hill point.
fucking Alex Toledo on 5 Reasons is texting me 2 days ago. How do you think the Heat match up against Denver? I go, motherfucker, they have to finish this series first. Get out of here. Not us talking about Denver. I haven't said shit about Denver.
Everybody's
Right.
problem.
Chat saying the
Apparently-
chat is
apparently
talking
chat's
about
talk-
it.
My bad, Alejandro. I'm sorry.
I'm screaming.
I apologize.
Counting chickens before they hatch.
I'm about to say.
Well, if they play
I
like
was
this,
on
it
This
ain't
is
gonna be
Alex's
good.
fault. I'm putting Alex on blast. I betrayed a confidence. I'm sorry, Alex.
I was on a Sacramento radio station today randomly. I don't know. It was like
Why?
What
the-
I
Yeah,
don't know.
like what?
Yeah, they just found me. They probably looked insane Heat fan on Google, and I came up. And they were asking me like, "How do you think Miami matches up against Denver?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm not at Denver yet." I was like, "Jokic terrifies me. I have no fucking clue." I was like, "I don't know what Miami Heat team is going to show up tonight."
Right.
Much
Bitch, I'm
less
still trying to
against
figure
Denver.
out how we match up against Boston. Like, leave
I'm
me
just-
alone.
Yeah, I'm
Chat
trying to
saying
figure out.
Sage the arena. I'm going to my energy leader tomorrow, and I'm going to ask her if I use the same sage or a different sage. Okay.
I'm trying to figure out Derek
Ooh.
White, and you're asking me
I
about
might tell you to
Jokic.
use a different one.
I don't know.
Let's brainstorm this.
I'm going to ask her. Listen, I'm going to consult the expert. I'm going to see what she says. I'm going to get a vibe check, and we'll see.
I'm in a
Okay,
locker room
honestly,
vibe
I
check.
kind of want to. I want to end this because I'm tired. I don't want to talk about this anymore. I want to go
lives
around
of the show.
I want to go
We got
around the horn.
268. I mean, shout out to you guys for sticking with
Shout
us.
out
but,
to
like,
chat. Shout out to the
Yeah.
audience.
there ain't much to talk about.
Alf, before you close out, I want to I want to laugh at people on Twitter and in chat. People are coming to me demanding that I answer for the
For
fat
Kyle's
point guard's crimes. I have been asked. I've been told you need to apologize. Like I need to apologize. I'm not apologizing. I apologize.
Honestly, I don't even care. Like, here's the thing: he played bad this game. Everyone did, right? And Kyle hasn't had a good game in a while. But Kyle literally like won you a couple games this postseason.
In the Knicks series, he was huge. At the end of that Buck series, he was big time. To the
Yeah.
point that, and let's be honest, like Gabe had a rough Knicks series because that was not a good matchup for him. It was a better matchup for Kyle, and Kyle came up big. Gabe had some big quarters, but like Kyle was like consistently closing. This has been a Gabe series. Gabe has been fucking spectacular. He's been awesome. He's been like arguably like one of their 3 or 4 best players like as a whole this series.
I mean,
So
he's
like this has
top-
been more of
I
a
think
Gabe
he's
series,
top
but like
4 player this series.
you know, like the Gabe starting, Kyle coming off the bench is like worked a ton. Like they both have their skill sets, and I just think it's funny. It's like we went from Kyle is a playoff guy. He's you know to he's the worst contract in Heat history again, and I just think the careening is funny. Like I understand like these like moments stink and you get mad and you like the first thing anybody wants to do is point blame. And it's like, okay, well, like Kyle is like, you know, he played bad and, you know, he doesn't have the pedigree that Bam and Jimmy has. So like, yeah, see, chat's doing it. Like he's been catastrophic. Catastrophic. Like he didn't help get you here. You know what I mean? And it's like, I think we can talk about like the shit that happens, but like not be hyperbolic and ignore like
It's the sweeping indictments on players.
yeah,
Like that's
like,
just annoying.
Yeah.
Like go ahead, Bar.
Oh no. I agree. Like I agree with the sweeping indictments.
And it goes, Bond, not to cut you off, it goes to people saying after like Gabe has like a bad 3 games that Gabe Vince is not an NBA player. Like that's ridiculous. And we got to stop.
I've been stopped listening to
Yeah.
idiots.
And like that kind of shit is annoying. And like chat's like watching
Yeah.
Kyle Lowry is annoying. That's not what you were saying in the Buck series. So like I don't want to hear it.
Yeah,
that's not what we were saying in the Buck series when he's forcing turnovers at the end of a game to beat the 1 seed. So like I don't really get, like, you guys have like half a brain. So like what are we doing here?
You know, certain shit doesn't need engaging with. I am tired of him over penetrating though. Like I get like you're trying to make something happen, but like you're too small and you don't have the giddy up. You're just like running in places. Like
he needs to pull up.
And it's just he doesn't. I don't understand. The one pull up he got into, he's like chucked the shit behind him. I'm like, Kyle, what are you doing?
He had that one
pull
basket.
Up, hit a floater for God's sake. Like practice with Tyler.
I've been telling you, all of them need to practice with Tyler. All of the guards need to go through Tyler's floater workout and see how he does it.
Just floater university.
That annoys me. I'm sorry, I finally want to close this. This is the last thing. The Celtics have basically, so on Jimmy and on Kyle specifically, they have stayed home on shooters. And they're like, you need to score on one-on-one or 1-on-2 coverage. We're not sending a lot of help. And with Kyle, they're like barely sending the guy who screened on him. You know what I mean? Like it's like it's usually 1-on-1 coverage. And when he penetrates, we did this pregame, he doesn't have anywhere to pass the ball to. And he's not beating guys cleanly off the dribble because like he's 37. So now he's in a position where he's like, well, I get to the paint and nobody rotated.
So stop going to the paint. Give me that pull up. Get to the nail.
What he needs to do is come off the screen and pull up, or kind of manipulate the dribble, or go back to that kind of snake inside out stuff. But like that's the stuff that was working. What he's doing now is like he's given the lane, he goes into it, and no Celtic comes to help, and he's not big enough or good enough at this point to like finish over bigger guys. So it's been tough.
Sorry, I'm doing my Duncan Hive dance.
He's out here.
That Tyler Hero is questionable tweet's gonna hit like so much different for Game 6.
He's not even. He's
not
even.
Knowing that he's not.
Bart, I want to start with you. You've been the most coherent tonight. Brian is despondent.
She usually is though.
Despondent.
No, G's doing word salads about Kyle Lowry. I'm just super upset at everybody.
I was ready for bed.
Oh, I'm so fucking tired. So tired. You know, I gotta be up. I gotta be up at. Well, my daughter's gonna wake me up. I gotta get to. Here we're gonna play Game 6. No, he's not.
No, he's
Gabe's
not.
Gonna play Game 6. I gotta be up. I gotta get my daughter to a doctor's appointment at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Anyway, so that's gonna be fun. Siobhan.
Yo.
What if you're Coach Spo, and not just starting lineup, but like what adjustments do you make for next game? I want to hear the starting lineup rotationally. Like what would you do next game? Real quick, 30 seconds.
Ooh, okay. So I think I would go Caleb in there somewhere. I do agree with you. You can't start Kyle and Kevin together.
Or either.
Or either. Damn it. I don't. Ooh, the other things. I think you let Jimmy.
I'm sorry, and Gabe can play.
Yeah, Gabe starts.
I'm saying this is if Gabe's playing. Go ahead.
Yeah, Gabe starts. I think. I don't know. I figure out how to get Bam involved, but I need him to help me get himself involved. Maybe I played like Jimmy out of the mid post and let him play making decision make out of there. But I also run offense on the other side. Like I don't know. It's a lot.
What do you do if Kevin Love's minutes? Do you play him over Zeller as the backup 5?
See, I like some of Kevin's
Zeller today.
minutes. I like Zeller today. I like some of Kevin's minutes. It depends on if you're going to play Kevin, you have to play the defense that he helps them with. Kevin shows really well on the screen for them. That one like leak out that they got at the end of Game 4, the run out, was because Kevin showed really well and disrupted Jason coming off of it. You can use Kevin. You just got to use him kind of the right way.
I think, Bond, that's good, but they just keep giving them the same look with Kevin. And I think they need to mix it up because they just show every time. And I think that's the problem. You need to surprise them.
It should go back to the soft show or like that soft double.
And I don't mind him in zone either. Like, do what you got to. But I understand why you don't run zone with the starters because that's like ridiculous.
I don't
What
know that I
defense
answer
was-
your question, but
What defense was
you gave me
Miami
enough.
running when Kevin Love was like getting all those charges? Like, what defense was Miami running? Because I feel like that's when he's at
I
his
thought he
best.
was doing. I mean, I thought he was in more of a drop. I might be wrong.
probably a zone or a drop if he's
was a
near
lot
the
of
rim
drop.
to be getting charges.
That's when he's most effective, I think.
Well, it's also
he
like
can play that way if there's another.
You can't
to me
play a
you-
drop
you-
with the Jays.
and you can't play that. He can't be around the rim if Al Horford's on the perimeter. That to me, that's part of the
I don't
problem.
mind helping off of Al. Like I need Al to hit like 3 a game, and then I'll maybe
get
step
it.
out a bit more.
I mean, I get it, Bond, but I feel like it was way more effective when you're playing when you got Brook Lopez and Giannis on the floor, or you got Julius Randle and Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah.
Like once you're out there with if Kevin Love is Derek White is his assignment, like it's a problem.
But then
Because-
so who's guarding Kevin Love? Because I know you were talking about like what are you doing? Who are you trying to pull away from the basket if you are playing Kevin? The Jimmy Kevin 2-man was giving
off-
them a lot of good stuff.
Yeah,
If
but
it's off the bench, wouldn't it be Robert Williams?
yeah, see, I like Kevin as your only big.
Because that'd be a
Duncan on
better
the podium.
matchup.
Of course, he
I don't
is.
see it.
But you see what you guys. My thing is, I don't mind Kevin playing. I like him as the only big.
Yeah.
That's where I want to see Kevin. I want to either I would either want him as a second big guarding another big, or as the only big on the floor, because I just don't like. I don't like when they can they can play Marcus Smart on him and just put a bunch of big guys on Jimmy and all these other guys, a big bunch of long rangy defenders, and put Marcus Smart on Kevin Love. Like anybody can guard Kevin Love, especially if you don't have to be around the rim.
Yeah.
That's my problem. He does not present a mismatch out there if Derek White is your power forward.
Yeah.
That's my biggest problem with Kevin Love. And it's like it's not on him. It's just who he is now. We have to make adjustments. Like we just have to. Who would you start next game?
Probably Highsmith and one of the 2-point guards. I just like Highsmith, and I think that Caleb off the bench makes sense.
Yeah.
And I think it helps Kyle too. So I think that's important. But just generally, like I just like the Highsmith minutes. I've always liked him on Tatum or Brown, and I think that Boston's starting lineup is very athletic, and it's bothered Miami. And I do think they need to kind of control that. To be honest, the offensive rebounding by Boston has been a problem since Game 3.
Yes.
I believe they had like 17 second chance points to Miami's
21-1 in Game 3.
Yeah,
We
so
still
that's been a trend that for the last 3 games. So like I do think that Highsmith helped some of that. He was an active mover and cutter. I guess one of the really positive things as well is I don't know how many cards the Celtics have left to play. I think I don't know how many more adjustments they have left. Miami now gets to go home, watch the film, show them all Duncan film on what to do against presses, and I'm praying to God, suppose not Doc Rivers.
Part of the problem, and Brian, actually, I'll go to you. Like, they can make all the adjustments they want. If Jimmy is disinterested and Bam is playing the way Bam is playing, it don't fucking matter. They could lose by 5, but they're not going to win. Like,
Jimmy has to will them one more win. That's why I basically start off the show with, like, to me, it doesn't seem like Jimmy wants to close out this series. He wants the rest of the team to do it for him. He needs to go out and do it for himself. And then the rest of the team will come and help him out. Like, it's not like he's not going to get help. They helped him out as much as they could, but like
honestly,
at the end of the day, you need Bam and Jimmy to give you a all-star performance to close out a series, especially against a team like the Boston Celtics. They're not going to give it to you.
I agree with that, but Vaughn, I don't know if you were going to say the same thing. It's not just that they need the performance, but if you're not doing it, Jimmy, get the fuck out the way. Like don't fuck up possessions.
Yeah, you can't be ball stopping, right?
And then not want to. If you don't want to do nothing, don't do nothing. Don't like get like I always like At my job, sometimes I'm like, I got people giving me busy work. Jimmy out there giving motherfuckers busy work.
I hate
and
He
saying,
could be delegating is what he's been doing.
Those
Well, I
pull-up
have people
fucking
like-
threes have to go. I'm sick and
I've
tired
been-
of them.
dog.
Welcome.
Bob,
What
we've
else?
been on this for a while.
I'm so over it. Like the knockout,
It's
I'm
over.
gonna redeem it because I missed that one in Game 7 last season. You shouldn't have took that one. Stop it. Like I don't. Me personally,
I don't
want
mind
him
if he's
basketball.
hot, but just
Sure.
don't take it out of rhythm, bro.
And they're all of the out of rhythm ones. They all look the same. They're all disinterested. They're all flat. That leg gets the kicking. It's flat. Like they all look the same when he's just dicking around with
My
it.
brother is so ready to go to Colombia.
I'm ready to go back to Colombia.
Are you talking about Shakira? I think you're talking about Shakira.
Listen, I don't want to hear anything out of her. This is all her fault.
This is definitely her fault.
She's a Boston Celtics agent.
This is shit you don't do the night before games.
My
All
friend in
athletes
chat,
know it.
Senpai Notes, texted me and he goes, Shakira's a Boston agent. And I'm like, man, I feel so betrayed.
You know what's funny, man? Like if they go
Damn
back
hips
and they
don't
win Game 6. I missed the joke. What happened?
It's funny because if I was ready, that would have been the out.
If they go back and win Game 6, one of my headphones is dying. If they go back and win Game 6, you know it's going to be like the Heat have no chance against Denver.
Yeah. They like it that way, though.
Listen,
I just want to get to the finals at this point. Like, just win one more
I'm
game.
sick of hearing about
You
the
lose in
things
the
that they
finals,
like.
whatever. But, like, just get there. You were up 3-0. I don't want to be the first team that loses 3-0.
I have a-
that is
I have-
my whole. That is everything. I do not want to be that meme.
I have a
what's
question.
hilarious?
I go Bon and then I
No,
want
you. No, you. Go ahead.
Would you have rather lost to the Bucks in the first round or had this run but it end with them losing?
I would have rather lost to the Bucks in the first round.
I think I'm there too.
Me and Tiffany was talking about. So Tiff, like all season, has been saying they can either win a chip or get swept in the first round. You know what the fuck the median is of that? Getting up 3-0 in the ECF and then blowing 4 straight. That's the most.
Spoelstra
I
would
would
never be able to
rather-
let that down on his coaching career.
Jimmy, Bam. Oh, it's over for Bam. If Bam lets that go down on his watch, like without him having active,
That's worse than anything Doc Rivers has ever done in his career.
Well, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna Jimmy all bark no bite, right?
Oh yeah,
Like
Oh,
that's what it's
big
gonna be.
superstar.
Like Jimmy got
can't
a
be
big
the
mouth, not a
main
superstar,
guy.
not a top
Yep.
20 player. There's gonna be a lot of dancing on the Jimmy grave because you run your mouth that much, and then you give up the 3-0 lead. They're gonna have the field day with bro.
Let me
like,
talk to y'all about the basketball gods, right? If you're gonna talk your shit, talk your shit. Like they want you to talk your shit. No, you don't need to have to do this. Like the gods want you to talk.
I was
your
gonna
shit.
do I was gonna do a beatbox for the rant. Go ahead.
You just gotta approach it the right way. You can't talk your shit and then just go like mailing it in. Now they just want to take it all away from you.
Bon, you know what this feels like? You know, this is starting to remind me of like that game 3 where they were just going up and doing all this crazy shit, celebrating like they had just won a series.
I had a problem
It
with game
reminded me of the finals against Dallas when they were about to go up 2-0 in that series at home. And they were swinging, pretending like they were boxing each other up like 15 or whatever, and then they lose that lead, and then they lose the series.
Kicking around. No one expected you to be up 3-0. Handle it. Finish it. And now we're just here.
Yeah. Jimmy was out here talking a lot of shit, man.
He was.
Pointing at people, calling timeout, and then to just not show up 2 games in a row.
A game and a half at worst. No, 2.5 games now. I don't know, man.
It's all Shakira's fault, I'm telling you.
Heat in 6, yeah.
It's if this Heat win this series, it's Heat in 6. Yeah.
No, listen.
If it goes 7,
still
it's
Heat
over.
in 5 because they didn't
think
show
so.
up tonight, so tonight doesn't count.
Oh,
I will say this game has brought back Celtic fan Rohan. So do with that as you will.
Insufferable on the fucking timeline. We get it, you're Rohan. You're fucking objective. You're a fucking journalist. You have to be. You have to be fucking play. You have to, talk about both sides. We get it, Rohan. You're dead in this town, bro. Don't you ever fucking show up at Flanagan's again. Like you are no longer allowed to have
shared
fucking
rib rolls with him.
Wing. we broke rib rolls with you, bro. Like, you are a traitor. You are a fucking coward, Rohan. Wait till I see you in the fucking streets.
Chad said Shakira played with Jimmy's meat.